Hello guys, it is Teenage Marvel Fan back with another video, and in today's video, I will be reviewing the season finale of Supergirl, season 3 or 4, something like that. I think it's season 4. Yeah, season 4. And the episode is titled "The Quest for Peace." And this was a pretty good episode, probably one of the best episodes of the season. I've been very impressed with all the season finales of each of these shows, and I was excited to see this one. And I'm actually looking forward to the Legends of Tomorrow one too, because that actually looks like it's going to be pretty good. But anyway, I suppose I should get right into this review. So you start off the episode with sort of a flashback, and it basically shows when Lex sent the Kaznians, something like that, to invade the United States while Red Daughter was killing Supergirl. But then Lex Luthor shows up in his Lexo suit or something like that, whatever they wanted to call it. And then he just destroys the Kaznians, like ships and planes and all that stuff. So then obviously they've been betrayed by Lex Luthor. So then Red Daughter shows up, she realizes what happened, and then she's like, "But you betrayed us, how could you do this?" And then he's just like, I'm Lex Luthor, how would you not see this coming? And I mean, honestly, she is pretty stupid, because if she actually knew who Lex Luthor was, then she would have seen this coming. But so then, when it looks like he kills her, he just shoots her with something, and then later you see that she's alive, and he puts her in a capsule thing, like a containment cell. But now on to the present time side of things. So Dreamer and Jean are trapped in Shelly Island or something like that. And so basically, they, along with all the other aliens, are basically slaves now, and they're being forced to work. But Jean, along with some other alien that they knew, just come up with a plan, and there's a distraction, and then they basically start a giant brawl with the guards, and then they figure out, how to get out of there, but they're, like, still stuck there and stuff, kind of. But Dreamer is able to send a message to Brainy, but they can't like understand her from her message. So like it's complicated. Like she's talking, but they can't understand her or hear her. So then he walks over to a window and breathes on it. And you know how like when you walk over to a window and you breathe on it, it would make like that like circle of like foggish, like wet moisture and stuff. Well, that's what he does, and then she's able to write on it, and that's how she communicates with him. And then she writes Shelly Island, so now they know where Jean, and the other aliens are. So then they're able to go rescue her, and that's all good. But then in other news, I'm pretty much just gonna skip to the good stuff, because I mean, like, most of the other stuff is pretty boring. So then Ben Lockwood and his Agents of Liberty are trying to go kill Lex Luthor, because, you know, Lex Luthor's been using Ben Lockwood for over a year now, so he's mad at him. But then Supergirl, James, Alex, and all those people show up to fight him, and they're going to use the Harnell extractor to extract the Harnell from him, so that takes away his powers. And then, well, obviously he wouldn't have powers after that. And after a bit of a struggle, they finally get it in him. By the time that happens, Lex Luthor is shown up, and then Supergirl or Kara has to go fight him. and he has like these kryptonite gauntlets, but then she has her like anti-kryptonite suit, which is basically like what Red Daughter was wearing in the last episode, but in the colors of Supergirl. So then she's fighting Lex, but then Lex almost has her beat. She's about to die, but then Red Daughter has escaped from the capsule, and then she flies in, and she gets in front of the blast of kryptonite. So, Red Daughter saves Supergirl's life, and then she basically ends up dying, but she did it for the greater good. And then Lex tries to escape, like he puts on his Lexo suit, and then he starts to fly away, but then just as he does, Kara like keeps shooting at him and stuff, like with her laser eyes and stuff. So I mean, his suit is failing, like it's not functioning right. So he's about to fall out of the sky, but then Kara flies up there and grabs him, and she's gonna save him, and she's like, "Let me save you," but then of course he says, "I'd rather die than be saved by a Kryptonian." So then he lets go, and then he crashes into the ground, and it looks like he dies because there's a huge explosion, but he doesn't, because then you see right after that, he opened a portal and he traveled into that secret lab that he had. But guess who's waiting there for him? It's Lena Luthor, and she's mad at him. She whips out a gun. Um, but before she does anything, she extracts the Harnell from him. So then that way, he can't do anything because then he wouldn't have powers. So then he's weak again. But then she whips out a gun, and then he's basically like, even though how much you hate, how much you despise me, I know that you would never actually pull that trigger. But just as he says that, she pulls the trigger and shoots him twice. And then he's like, oh, bravo. So then Lex Luthor's basically about to die, but then he knows that. So then he starts playing a video that basically shows Kara as Supergirl. So now Lena knows that Kara is Supergirl. So this is some big stuff happening here. And then Lex basically dies. So then Lena's there crying, both about him dying as well as Kara lying to her for years. So she's mad about that. Nobody knows that Lena's the one that killed Lex. Everybody knows that he's dead, but they think it's because of when he fell from the sky. And then basically life goes on pretty much normally. Um, Alex and James's sister, whatever her name is, they're officially a thing now. Like, they made out in this episode. So, go lesbians, I guess. Yeah, and then Brainy and Nia are also officially a thing because I forgot to mention it, but he was able to get back to normal, and then he told her that he loved her, and then stuff happened, and they started holding hands, and now they're in love. So that's great. And then they're all having like a dinner party at Jean's house apparently, and they're like playing. It's like game night or something, and then Kara is talking to Alex, and Kara just feels super bad, and she wants to tell Lena the truth, even though she actually knows it, but Kara doesn't know that Lena knows. And then Kara is about to tell her, but then Alex tells her that she should wait because everything is just starting to calm down, and that Kara should wait because, like, life is kind of just getting back to normal and everything, so, yeah. But then after that, like, after that, the son of Ben Lockwood, I forgot his name, he has like a public speech or something explaining how humans and aliens need to live together and they need to stop fighting. And of course, Ben Lockwood's mad about that because the whole cause that he was fighting for is being opposed by his son. So that's not good. And then after that, like pretty much after the show's over, there are a few setups for the future. You see an elderly woman sit down on a bench next to another woman, and then she basically says that that's Miss Tessmacher, uh, whatever her first name is. But basically, then it's revealed that she, this elderly lady, was who Miss Tessmacher was working for the whole time, and she was the one that told her to work for Lex Luthor and stuff. And there, and then she looks around and says that Leviathan is all around us, or something like that. So I'm guessing that's some type of crazy organization that's maybe against aliens or something. I don't know. It's probably going to be the main villains of the next season. But then after that, you get a scene with the Monitor. So this is a setup for the crossover next year. And you see a cloaked figure. And then the Monitor is talking to him. And basically says that he's on Earth. And the Monitor can help him out and stuff. And then he takes off his hood. And it's a green Martian. It's Jean's brother. Or his evil brother, I guess. So that'll be interesting to see that play out. I hope he has a big part in the next season because Martian Manhunter is one of my favorite DC superheroes, and I like that he's on this show, but he doesn't get much screen time or anything. So I would really like it if like he had his own story dedicated just to him, like with his own villain and stuff like that. So that I'm really looking forward to this. And then after this, you see a scene where the Monitor shows up in that lab where Lex Luthor's dead body is. And then he starts doing something with his hand, and then you can only assume that this means that he's bringing Lex Luthor back to life. And that's not really a shocker. Like, kind of saw that coming. Like, they're not going to keep Lex Luthor dead. But maybe this means that he's going to be in a part of the crossover. And same with the evil Martian Manhunter dude. Maybe he'll have something to do with the crossover. And if he is in the crossover, then maybe that means that Martian Manhunter will be in the crossover. Because for the past 3 years, in the past 3 crossovers, Martian Manhunter hasn't been in any of them. He was in one, but that was the Flash and Supergirl crossover, and he was barely in it, and he wasn't even actually Martian Manhunter, he was just J'onn J'onzz, so that was kind of sucky. But, yeah. So, let me know what you thought down in the comments below, what you think about the crossover, what you think will happen next, and thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you in my next video so I can bestow all my DC knowledge upon you.